You're listening to the voice of IWA Flip here on Interfed Radio. Welcome to Around the United Nation Trash Talk Edition. Back in studios, Commissioner Scott Anderson. Commissioner, welcome back.
Hey, thanks for having me. Here we are, ready to do another double shot.
Man, you know what? I think we should all, if Richard J. managed to clean up. I'm feeling bad. I'm here in my tank top and my whitey tighties recording a show. I was missing Rick Rancher, the old hick, and he shows up like that, making us all look bad.
Yeah.
Hair combed, dude. Huh. Unbelievable.
Yeah. Rest of us have let our physical appearances slip a little, and here he is, like, cleaning up.
Now, do you think is obviously, McFleece is a great guy. I mean, for somebody to reach out, did he reach out? Do you think this makeover is all McFleece makeover money?
No, I think that McFleece helped Richard earn his new wealth, and I think that probably Richard went for a change.
But so this isn't a Fortune 500 handout.
No.
Okay.
That's not my impression.
Okay,
I don't think that Richard J. Rancher would take a handout.
Dude. After the feud that they've had, I go, bro, he couldn't have hit him that hard.
Yeah.
Like I go, no, he's definitely not gonna take handouts from the Fortune. But if we can start with Rancher, because I know we got a lot to talk about, but anybody that's in the Bronze Age, if you haven't read the Trash Talk in the UNL, in the Living Nightmare League, in the Revolution Wrestling League, go take a peek. Do yourself a favor. Just some of the arcs that happened. I mean, I don't want to spoil anybody's read-throughs right now, because that LNL still has my brain going like 100 miles per hour. When I saw this one, it just sent it going 150 miles per hour. And then I'm like, dude, this is why we Bronze Age, bro. This is why. I mean, just be real with each other, man. I go, the story arcs that come through here are just they're set up and they're built up well. I mean, never in my I thought the man was like in a ditch somewhere, just with beers, maybe, sleeping inside of a carcass of a deer, just completely let himself go. That's where I thought Rick Rancher was, like, dude,
right.
He's just full of shame. He doesn't want to,
Yeah.
And here we go find out that he was just like, you know what? I got to build my wealth up because I gotta change this image. And whew, did he ever?
Yeah. The Texas hick went away.
Yeah. No. Oh, yeah. I mean, I feel bad for the first person that refers to him as a hick still. I'm wondering if he's going to have that same retaliation, because he's still Rancher.
Yeah.
So I'm still expecting that, like, that
mean streak.
Well, yeah. I mean, I hope he doesn't, like. I mean, no disrespect, and going out of character here. I don't want to see him be all like when Kane made his switch. I don't want to see this like all of a sudden he's like rule abiding. I mean, maybe.
No, I don't think there's any chance of that.
Not from the Rancher that I know, no. But I mean, who knows? Maybe maybe he plays nice for a little bit, So if you need a tag team partner, Mr. Rancher, 106, 107. We didn't mean to go after you. It was just a contract. So no hard feelings. No hard feelings. So we had these two, just these two transitions into. I don't want to say into a new character, because it's still the same character, but just into a new side of the character. Just someone like Aaron McFleece, who, went through the Alaska, a stage of his career, and now he won, the big payout at the Rumble. 3.5. You said what was the total?
3.5 million. Yeah. Did we want to go over the pay-per-view?
Oh yeah, brother. You know what? Once we said it was the trash talk edition, I know I can start rambling. But
Yeah.
yeah, I know we
Well,
still
because
have.
it's exciting stuff.
It is. It really is. But yeah, let's get the pay-per-view since our commissioner show, we kind of we had two shows to cover, so we kind of crammed it all into that one. So we definitely want to make sure we get the pay-per-view covered. But
Yeah.
let's see here. Yeah, let's go ahead and let's get over some of these.
Yeah. So, pretty amazing card, headlined, of course, by the Rumble match and the 3.5 million, and Aaron McFleece winning. Pretty impressive. I believe he got second place last year, too.
I was about to tell you that, man. I go, this guy was definitely what do they call that? Like it was so close that he wasn't going to let it get by him this time.
Right. Correct. Because there's nothing for second place.
No.
So 3.5 million. The best of 5 had between Skullfire and Psycho Bolt and the Demons of Rage had their match 4. Demons of Rage won that match and the series 3-1. So congratulations to them.
I had already crowned Psycho Bolt and Skullfire. I guess maybe because I had seen them on the front page, I thought maybe they had pulled that one off. But shout out to the Demons of Rage for proving me wrong. And as a matter of fact, not sure who they're going to tangle with next, but might have a little something for them.
Oh, all right.
Because they're new here. So, I mean, they got through the rookies, so might as well, I think, we're pretty much at the bottom of that ladder to climb. So,
like, you're next up.
Next, bub.
Like,
step up 106 and 107.
Like, oh, this is so bad, but I think of like the early 90s when a wrestler would debut and they'd beat the Scrubs for a while, and then they would face like Virgil, It's like, like Virgil never wins, but he's a superstar. And so like
here you go. Who's your next opponent? Coco Beware and Tito Santana. Yes.
Poor Tito. So in the first ever Chicago street fight, Excavadora avenged his loss at World Warfare and defeated Jake the Snake Sabo, who is now in the EPL. So Excavadora got a measure of revenge here and put the nail in the coffin of their feud.
Yeah, no, shout out to Jake Sabo. I know we had mentioned them a couple of times, and breaking character for a little bit. I mean, shout out to Sean because he went fishing probably more than anyone I have seen in a long time, and every time it looked like he was catching a bait, once he pulled it off the hook, it would slip and fall right back into the water, bro. So I was like, wow, you know what? Sabo is definitely tainted. So I'm glad. Yeah, he's definitely cursed. And he's doing better now. He's doing much, much better. He has he got his own stable. It looks like the Oru stable has invaded the RWL as well. So, the snakes aren't gone. They're not gone, but we can rest assured that Excavadora definitely is not going to allow them back into the UNL anytime soon. So
yeah. The Poison and the Marchand Hitman went to a draw. So I'm sure, with those 4 competitors, things got wild. And so it went to a no contest.
Now that was both the Hitman and Hitman versus Poisoned?
Correct. Tag team affair.
Yeah, because we had mentioned that in the past where even though Black Mass is I think the thing that makes Black Mass is their microphone skills. They come not only
Yep.
competitive in the ring, but they just bring it on the microphone, even to the point where they isolated their own. I mean, they think that we isolated Mr. Redwood. Mr. Redwood, you just, got to figure out a way to take the microphone from Mr. Blackwood's hand sometimes.
Well, if you read the trash talk in 49 and 50, Rex is definitely putting himself at the forefront.
Yeah.
And kudos to him for that. Speaking of Mr. Redwood and Black Mass, they were able to defeat the Associates and Solomon Ying. I mean, it was basically like a 3-on-1.
If everybody always talks about commissioners. If the commissioner would have listened and I was done 2-on-1 versus Humongous, look at the man. Just look at him. Oh, man. But no.
Well,
dang, you want to be fair.
I try. So we have another tag team match, and the Dead Rabbits were able to defeat Valinaria and his partner Archie Jones.
Ooh.
So you may remember that Valen and Archie were rivals, had a match at World Warfare 3, earned each other's respect, became partners, but came up a little short here against the Dead Rabbits.
It's that Hughesworth guy, man. I mean, if anytime you got to deal with a third person,
yes,
outside of the ring, it's just not
tricky.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he seems like such a outstanding, just citizen of the community, and then just that, yeah.
Mr. Are we talking about the same person?
Well, yeah, Mr. He's a outstanding. Hubert. What's his name? Hubert.
Hughesworth.
Yeah. You don't think that highly of him? You don't think he's an outstanding citizen of the community?
I didn't say he wasn't. I didn't say he wasn't.
It's just when he starts pulling, on people's shorts and causing them to break, holds, and he's tricky, man. He's very tricky guy.
Fair. We had the open challenge laid out by Philippe Rousseau.
Nice.
And unfortunately, he was MIA. So Vladimir answered the challenge and won by forfeit. So,
you know what? That is the one thing about the UNL, bro. In the UNL, and nothing against issuing a challenge, because here in the UNL, you're going to get it answered.
Right.
And I think same thing happened with Jake Sabot and the Snake and Philippe. I mean, it's going to get to a point where it's going to be that the cry wolf. You're gonna get out there. You're gonna issue a challenge, and no one's gonna come. Got to be careful, especially in a place like the UNL.
Yeah. Instead of getting a snake response, you might get crickets.
Ooh, yeah. That'll be. I mean, or even worse. I mean, some of these guys don't mess around. You're talking about. Could you imagine flexing Vladimir? I mean, not that we weren't entertained by him dancing the enchilada in the middle of an empty ring, but
right.
But only so many times you can see it.
Yeah, for sure. And then last but certainly not least, we had Ford Rucker win a steel cage match against the silent member of the roster, American Pride, Jack Edison.
We love you, Mr. Edison. We really do, but you got to understand one thing. Even as good as you are, unless you get on that microphone, it's really hard to get a big push around here. Anywhere else, I would say, you know what? You can get away with not trash talking, and it'll just, you can still, participate. Here, not, it's just very hard to get any kind of a push without stepping onto that microphone. The fans here demand it. Mm-hmm.
I just I like to say, on that regard, the UNL has an incredible collection of managers who do amazing trash talk, cycle in, cycle out. And I feel like, if I may be so bold, I think to say that the UNL is one of the places where you got to bring it. You got to bring your best trash talk more often than not.
I agree.
That's how it is.
Now, speaking of, just bringing it all together. I know I've teased Jake and the Double Dutch for being very successful and not stepping onto the mic as much, but to see them this cycle just bring everybody together now, and do you want to reveal the name of the?
Well, I believe you're referring to the trash talk that begins with Aaron McFleece getting the other three finalists from the Rumble back into the ring.
Oh yeah,
is that correct?
That is the one, Mr. Crane, the Mongrovian Brawler, and I believe it was Jake, right? That was
Jacob Vandenberg. Yes.
Nice.
So if you haven't read it yet, it's 2 pages of what I would like to consider to be very good writing. And in short, what we end up seeing is the coming together of 8 top talents. You're looking at Aaron McFleece, Tim Batsu, joined by Jacob Vandenberg and TVB, and Vladimir Verkempt. So those 2 gentlemen teaming up with Double Dutch. And then we have Naul and Valen run to the ring. And we think that for whatever reason, they're going to play protector for Ezekiel Crane. They're honorable men. They don't like 5-on-1, I guess. But then we see Valen and Naul finish the job on Mr. Ezekiel.
Oh, no.
And so then we have 7 men in the ring. And then, lo and behold, who returns? It's your favorite. Do you want
to? Wait. Before we get to that reveal, I yes. Got to say one thing. When just in terms of like character developments and just bringing a character into the play. Just when the Mongrovian Brawler gets a hold of the microphone and Jacob just like snags it out of his hand, that kind of fishing and that kind of like door opening up to a feud is just, if you don't see it, then yeah, you know what? That's why we're here to point it out.
Point it out. Oh, I definitely think that this promo, along with Mongrovian Brawler capturing the world tag titles, they may find themselves at the receiving end of a beatdown.
Yes,
certainly possible.
Yeah, but like you were mentioning, to have them already there, and then you get the introduction to the new Richard J.
Rancher.
Yep.
So you're looking at 8 wrestlers who combined have held 24 league titles.
Whew. Yeah. When you have and let's break it down a little bit, because last year, again, the arrival of the Dead Rabbits, the arrival of Ezekiel Crane, the arrival of stables like I went blank, but Edge's the Bushmasters, even for the short period of time that we had Sugar High. We had so many people just coming and not only just arriving in the league, but arriving and stating that they were together. When the Ezekiel Crane faction came, it was 6 of them, and then they added the other 2 that eventually got booted. But you saw everybody just kind of coming together, and it was just like, okay, what is this going to lead to? You had,
Right.
just yeah, it was. I don't want to say out of necessity because I don't think anybody in that eight that you just mentioned needs backup, but it's definitely gotten to the point where it's nice to have somebody watching your back with all the
Yeah.
hoodlums around.
Oh, I definitely think that it is a direct response to the power and potential danger that is amassed by the current landscape of, say, Ezekiel Crane and Black Mass, in particular, the Dead Rabbits, now being a part of, Ezekiel Crane's group. Um, that is a powerhouse, and you need people watching your back. And I see this collection as a direct response to that.
Yeah, I mean, these two new guys that just came in, Ford Rucker and the Mongrovian Brawler. I know and I think I missed it, but I know they're now God, so they've kind of united under the stable God now, and so I'm curious as to whether Monk and Cutting are going to also fall under that fall under that God, because I know recently uh, Thomas and Ben have had a little bit of an issue, after pushing Ezekiel Crane around for a whole year. They're a little shell shocked that he's walking. you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
so that relationship is a little shaky right now. I wanna make it. I wonder if they're gonna be able to survive.
Well, and it seemed like, while we're talking about the associates, it seemed like they were having some trouble with Solomon. But this cycle, it seemed like maybe Solomon was, more on board with them. Like they had come around a little bit. But
Yeah, I think.
now that they've lost that 6-man match, I don't know.
Yeah.
Solomon came out and attacked Excavadora, so
Ooh.
he may be looking for a singles feud. And I gotta say, Excavadora has been, pretty on fire, for lack of a better term. So Solomon versus Excavadora could be a big money match.
Yeah. Oh no. I definitely think Solomon is kind of more leaning towards the associates side, because if Ben and Thomas were the ones pushing the wheelchair wherever they got to, wherever they needed to get to, Solomon was the one picking him up and transporting him, and so I'm not
He's
sure
a
if he's
muscle.
if yeah,
Yeah.
he's the muscle, definitely. So I'm not sure he's too happy with seeing Ezekiel just walk around, and but we'll see where this goes. I'm curious, especially now that the Monk and Butcher have been plotting for all these last couple of cycles. They were relatively quiet, and now that I know they're officially back. So I'm wondering what's going to happen with them.
Yes, sir.
Now, our buddy, our friend, our good pal, Akbar.
Yes.
Ah,
Let's scroll up to where we hear from him.
now,
The always dangerous.
his he went to a tie against these hitmen.
Correct. Correct.
I wonder. I mean, he doesn't mention on here whether whether he's just going to skip over them and look on. But
Yeah. It seems like he's probably ready to move on. The Hitmen have been somewhat quiet the last few cycles, so, they may be looking for a new victim.
well, I would venture off into say that obviously Akbar is a lot more prestigious, so maybe the associates should take on Skullfire and Psycho Bolt, since they lost, and the people that won can take on Poison.
Like,
Oh, I love you. I love you, Akbar. So you get the tougher guys. You get the tougher.
yes.
Guys.
Yeah.
Ah.
Well, that would be an interesting matchup. I don't. You talk about Poison against possibly the Demons of Rage.
Yes. What did I call them? Oh, I called them the Demons of Anger. I'm so pumped up about Mr.
Well,
Unji.
I mean, there is demon anger, so you're not that far off. But yeah, we hear from Akbar, and they look to be expanding. So it sounds like we may even have more than the addition that we were expecting.
Ooh,
so
yeah.
we'll have to see where that goes. Akbar is as dangerous as they come.
Now, are you going to allow the fangs while they're wrestling, or do they got to take out the fangs when they wrestle?
I mean, I would think that biting is still illegal, so
Okay.
you can get disqualified for that.
I'm trying to think back to and again breaking character to the Brood. Did they take off their fangs when they
No,
wrestled?
I don't think. I mean, I think Gangrel is the only one who had the pronounced teeth, and I don't. No, I think he just I don't know if they were caps or not, but yeah.
So vampires be warned. You may have to no biting, no biting,
Yeah.
no biting. We mentioned Mr. Redwood and
Yeah.
his lack of coverage over Black Mass's cameo here in the UNL and throughout the IW. I mean, if you were that third wheel, I mean, it eventually it catches up with you. I mean, here you have Blackwood and Humongous going around the entire IWA, getting paychecks, getting paid, and all you're doing is opening up limo doors. Yeah, it'll definitely catch up.
For those of you who get paper bulletins, if you didn't read Redwood's Trash Talk in Cycle 49, I highly encourage you to go back and read that. And if you don't get a paper bulletin, hopefully you downloaded it. It's really good. It's really good stuff. So he basically, sets the stage for what happens this cycle. And he's going to, as we already mentioned, he wants to be more in the forefront. He doesn't want to be an afterthought. He doesn't want to be a third man. He wants to be his own man. So
I mean, he took to social media immediately after that cycle ended. After that tour, he was the first one on the interwebs, asking for his first victim, and of course, sour grapes Ben and Thomas after getting beat up by Black Mass and Mr. Redwood, think they got something to prove. So now,
unfortunately for Benjamin Felix, he was the first victim, and he is pummeled to the proverbial bloody pulp here by Mr. Redwood.
Now,
it is not pretty.
No. I think he'll recover by the pay-per-view. So, victim or not, maybe
he's got a couple months to recover. He's gonna need it.
Oh yeah. So he'll recover, but yeah. I hope he's not looking for another victim. Because Thomas is the champion.
Thomas better be watching. Yeah, you better be watching behind him.
Damn it! Oh man, you know what?
For sure.
Oh yeah. So I'm definitely looking forward to and again, talking character stuff and outside of the breaking the fourth wall or whatever not, I've kind of tagged along and held on to the coats of Ezekiel Crane and Monk and in their angle this whole year here in the UNL. And I think this upcoming cycle, I just want to separate Ben and Thomas a little more, give them their own personalities. So that's why I started going, started splitting them up, making them, their own individuals as well. So I think that's along the same lines where Redwood is at also, where he's separating himself from Black Mass and becoming his own threat.
For sure. I, for one, speaking about the Demons of Rage, you had mentioned the Poison as a possible rival. I would like to throw out the possibility that the Demons of Rage would go toe-to-toe with the Dead Rabbits.
Ooh.
That would be quite a match.
Yeah, that's something that now again, I'm just kind of in my imaginary world, just thinking of them climbing the ladder. Because if you got two rookies like the Demons of Rage challenge somebody like a Walter and a Bill, it's a big jump. Not that Akbar and Poisoned, not to take anything away from them, but I still hold Walter and Bill a little higher than Poisoned at the moment.
Hello?
I was like, wow, he hung up. He's like, nope.
No. I wouldn't hang up on you, sir.
No. But in terms of Poisoned over Walter and Bill, in terms of tag team action.
Actually, I might like to see that one too. Maybe we could just get like a triple threat tag match going on.
Oh, nice. Just leave the association.
Just
get out of this already. Why don't you
destroy the ring? You imagine?
That would. Oh, that would be fun. Yeah, no. So we definitely got some great tag teams. Great tag team competition here, as already mentioned. I mean, not that. I would definitely like to see Double Dutch get more involved in the tag team and 6-man scene here.
Yeah.
Not that. I mean, obviously they have representatives through the Boys Are Back in Town, but maybe an exclusive tag team with Jacob and TVB. Excuse me.
Yeah, you don't say the X's. But yeah, we already mentioned the tag division, particularly on the Commissioner Show. If you hopefully had a chance to listen to that, but I would say the UNL is IWA wide top five tag team divisions in the entire game. I mean, when you think about tag team divisions, certain leagues stand out to me. And I would put the UNL in that group of amazing tag team leagues, or amazing leagues with amazing tag team divisions.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I think what makes it even more is just the fact that the tag team division here is on the microphone. I mean, you have actual tag teams that are gonna, and we mentioned this on the Commissioner Show where. Because the people that are here are making that belt relevant, because they talk about it, because they chase it, it just I mean, it makes that tag scene not only the front page tag belt, but also the Commissioner belt. That's what makes the scene here just that much more special. And
did you know that the UNL is still the only league in the IWA that gives credit to its league tag team champions?
Nice. Very nice.
Little feather in the cap there.
Yeah, and the fact that you obviously like I said, you could have easily have just done the Commissioner belt to be just two regular wrestlers, but to have that special clause in there where one has to, or both of them have to be either international or national, that just makes it, adds the little extra.
Yeah. The icing on the cake.
Yep.
We're
obviously
talking trash talk, right?
oh yeah, yeah. I I want to mention and without going too far into it, um, why TVB, excuse me, why Jacob brought home the Bronze Conqueror.
Yeah, we have a new bronze conqueror, Jacob Vandenberg from the UNL. Congratulations. Yeah, go ahead.
The reason I'm reminded of this is because I see this Aiden promo here.
Yes, who is
So
an amazing character. And if you're interested in LNL, Aiden Brimstone, top notch. But go ahead. Sorry, I interrupted a second time.
no, I love it. I mean, it just it adds to your play here already. I mean, obviously, you know Jacob isn't in the LNL, so he'll never get to go head to head against someone like Brimstone. But you made it happen with the Bronze Age, with this and that, and again, seeing something like this in the UNL is it's a testament to what you guys are doing here in the Bronze Age in terms of trash talking cross leagues. Obviously, shout out to Sadaku for carrying that torch when she had it. Shout out to Brimstone. Shout out to uh, you know I was about to say Otis and what's his name, but
Otis and Holiday.
and Holiday. God darn it! But yeah, I mean it just adds to it. How often are we going to see Brimstone in the UNL? Probably not for a long, long time again. But when these crossovers happen, it is nice to get a little something.
Yeah, no, it's cool.
He's going to be like,
yeah,
I'm right there with you.
I dig it.
Yeah, definitely digging the crossover trash talks. Now, Ford Rucker and Mongrovian Brawler.
Yes, sir.
And I'm shout out to the people that they're going up against, because Timmy, we love you and we keep trying. And again, I like I said, I think because we're in so many leagues together, we Adam, and it's not picking on Timmy, but we want Timmy to just know that people are trying to pull you into feuds, brother. It's not only me. It's not only Brandon. It's not only the commissioner. No, everybody is trying to get you into feuds. So here's another, like, all right, cool. We try to get you in through the Ezekiel Crane thing. If you're not going to trash talk, you saw what happened. Ezekiel Crane's going to boot you out. So here comes another attempt at pulling the infamous Jack Edison and Anthony Izzo into some feuds. And I hope Timmy focuses on what's going on here in the UNL, because yeah, I mean, when you get wrapped up into a feud, brother, I mean,
Ford Rucker won the steel cage match and still is saying, I want another piece of Jack Edison.
Oh yeah, no, he definitely wants to knock out all his teeth, I think.
I think so.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't satisfied with a little steel cage match. He definitely wants to, up the ante, and it's just, anytime you associate yourself with the man in purple, something's up. This isn't something that, I mean, if somebody holds grudges, I mean, for crying out loud, this man put himself in a wheelchair for a year and a half to make a point. So if you think that Jack Edison and Anthony Izzo are going to walk out of the UNL on their own and not in the back of an ambulance, then yeah, you got another thing coming, brother, because you don't bring in someone like Ford Rucker and the Mongrovian Brawler to pat Edison and Izzo on the head and say good job.
Yeah, there's no tea time here.
Definitely no tea time. Oh man. Now I know Excavadora lost his mouthpiece a long, long time ago, but
yes,
any chance we're gonna get to see the Henry Donaldson again here? No?
I unless he gets another client, I don't know how.
Ah,
Certainly, Excavadora is crushing it on his own. He's been television champion, the commissioner television champion for several cycles now, several successful title defenses. And you had mentioned, making the titles important. He always mentions it in his trash talk, so appreciate that. But here, he calls out. It seems like he takes a subtle shot at Aaron McFleece as well as Damian Hendrick, who is no longer in the league. But he may have to do an about face because the earlier mentioned beatdown that he received from Solomon Ying.
yeah, I mean, he definitely wants. I mean, who wouldn't want McFleece at this point? McFleece has risen himself, to that level. I mean, when you bring home the Rumble cash money, yeah, your target went exponentially, like just
Right.
humongous, just. But
Yeah. No. Humongous is in Black Mass. Sorry, dad joke. Go ahead.
I'm like, huh?
Yeah.
Like,
No.
oh yeah. But yes, no. I mean, Excavadora, looking for Fortune 500, definitely is one that I'm looking forward to. Maybe in the summer, maybe after him and Yang finally have their day in the light. But I'm actually looking forward to a slow brew from Excavadora and McFleece because McFleece has a lot going on in
Well,
his circle.
it can't be that slow because McFleece is going to retire at the end of the year.
Oh, nice. So this is going to be his retirement feud then.
Possibly.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah, you were talking about earlier about moving up the ladder, and I feel like Excavadora has moved up the ladder and now is like just waiting at the cusp of the very top of the card. Do you know what I mean? Like if he were to have a feud with a Fortune 500, now he has officially main event status.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I mean, there's a few people that I put, up in that top five. Obviously, Bill, obviously Rancher with his former success, obviously McFleece, Jacob, Naul for, or I would probably put Valen over Naul, be honest with you.
Yeah,
So
I would too.
So, but yeah, I mean that I put Excavadora in that same sentence now with those guys moving up.
Yeah, he has definitely proven to be
Yeah.
at an elite level.
Oh yeah, I mean, still got a little bit to climb over those names that we mentioned because, I mean, yeah, 6 championships. It's going to be hard to surpass Bill Cutting at that top spot. But yeah, I mean, you got to start somewhere. So I guess McFleece.
It would be cool. We'll see where it goes.
Now, people we see active that we obviously we pick on Timmy every chance we get. I love you, Timmy, but we pick on you because you're active. But
you pick on Timmy. I don't pick on Timmy.
What? I love Timmy. I pick on every chance I get. Let's see here. So we heard from Skullfire. We heard from everybody on the front page. We heard from except the Buston. So I'm going to pick on the Buston. So the Buston, make sure you get some trash talk there next cycle. Mention your newly acquired Russia championship.
There we go. Yes, but the thing is, when you have a two wrestler limit, you're not going to have a ton of active wrestlers just by definition, right? But we've had at least 15 active managers for about the last 2 years. Usually it's 17 or 18, which to me is a very high number. That's awesome. And routinely, of those 17 or 18, like 14 or 15 are active trash talkers.
Yeah, I mean,
which I think is just awesome. I think
Yeah.
that's an incredible ratio of trash talkers to total managers. So kudos to the managers who they're the ones driving, how awesome the UNL is.
I agree. Yeah. I mean, I'm looking at these active ones. I mean, obviously we didn't hear from the Joneses, so love to hear from you guys, see what you guys are up to. Hopefully you're not spending all your time up in the mountains. Um, who else didn't we hear from? We didn't hear from the Vampires. I know they just transferred over, so
Right. Relatively new. Would like to hear from them.
Definitely want to hear from them. And other than that, I think everybody. Oh, of course, like I said, American Pride and the Italian Nightmare. Love to hear from you guys.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I said, Jacob and TVB. Love to hear what you got to say about your newly acquired gold. And good luck. Where are they traveling to next? Where's Jacob gonna take his Bronze Age Conqueror?
Next is the RWL.
Oh, nice.
And that's next cycle. So
now, did you get confirmation? Did Winter?
I do not think I got confirmation, but I am. Winter is my wrestler. She did not have a good cycle. so I would be surprised if she retained, but I can look real quick. Somebody in the RWL did have a 501 and did win the elite title, but it was not Winter Gore.
It wasn't. Wrong character. Wrong one of your characters.
Wrong character. Yeah. I'm looking here and trying to find 56. Yep. Okay. So Revolt X is Winter Gore versus Dragon Lily. So now we'll pop over here. This is where it's good that I have all these tabs open. Winter Gore had an incredible 488.
Nice, you guys. Nice.
Yes, and Dragon Lily had a
486.
487.
Oh.
So Winter Gore, if I'm correct, Sean will have to confirm this. Commissioner Goldstein will have to confirm this, but it looks to me like Winter Gore somehow retained.
I'm telling you, those voodoo dolls, bro.
Yes,
those voodoo dolls.
That is amazing. That was not expected. So yeah, when I unconfirmed, the next challenger I believe will be Winter Gore.
Ooh, nice. And she's been in terms of her story arc, she's been a big time player in the RWL. So it would definitely be nice to see her bring home the Bronze Age. Not that we don't want to see Jacob hold it for a whole year, but
of course. But I wouldn't mind if Winter Gore won.
Yeah, it would be fun. Now, Knights of the Bronze, where are they at?
Did the Blitzes trash talk? If they didn't trash talk, then I need to talk to Commissioner Goldstein and Commissioner Ballin, because we were very clear that you need to trash talk.
Yeah.
So they might have lost by forfeit.
Oh, let's see.
But I'll have to confirm that with the RWL commissioner.
It was 56?
Yeah. I mean, I'm scrolling through. I don't see it. I don't see any from the Blitz sisters.
I'm telling you, Blitz sisters, you gotta
let's message my fellow Bronze Age brethren.
Yeah, and just to speak on that, I mean, there's enough people that trash talk that we have that are interested, because these belts are relevant, that when you don't trash talk and you fall uh, out of that prestigious group, it's just it's only right.
I mean, you got to trash talk.
Yeah.
You're in the Bronze Age. You got to trash talk. Well, let me asterisk. You don't have to trash talk, but if you want to be involved in commissioner stuff, you got to trash talk.
Agreed.
Certainly, I don't mind if somebody wants to come and, spend their hard-earned money and not trash talk. That's definitely their right. But I will definitely take silent managers. But if you want to be involved, then you got to trash talk.
Yeah, because I mean, saying it like it is. I mean, this is these belts are they're commissioner belts. They're we're playing for them. Us that we're trash talking, right. Us that we're on this show. Like I always tease Sean. The 9 people listening to the show. That's
10 viewers.
That's who we have. That's following these belts. So when you're not trash talking, then guess what? We got to make room for the people that are, and myself included. I know I fell out of the trash talk realm for a little bit because work was just busy, but no excuses. I knew those cycles that I wasn't going to get the push, but if you do have the belts, mention them. Yeah, no, I don't see any trash talk. Well.
So maybe when you do the RWL show, Commissioner Goldstein can confirm that for us.
Yeah, remind them all
for our loyal listeners.
While we're at it, I'm gonna just like I said, not picking on anybody, but hey, Jacob, you got a big shoe to fill them in cycle because you are the official Bronze Age conqueror now. So
yeah,
show that belt off. Show that belt off.
For sure.
Oh man, and make sure it's real because over in the LSL, Catfish Rob just handed a belt over to somebody that was a fake belt. So I
shout out to Catfish. We love you.
Shout out Catfish. I know you'll be listening, so just had to throw that in there. Oh man, Commissioner, is there anything else you want to put on this Trash Talk edition?
My good sir, I think we have covered it. Other than my unrelenting gratitude for all the work that managers put in to making the UNL and the Bronze Age what it is and as successful as it is, for my money, it's one of the best places to be if that's your thing.
Amen to that. Now, I'll end it with this. If you're not getting the push you want, obviously, Timmy, if you want us to stop talking, and again, I talked to Timmy enough where I know Timmy's okay with us teasing him. But if you ever really just like want to play here and be like, hey guys, can you just get off my back already and just let me play, and I'm not going to chase the commissioner. Just let us know. That's definitely something that we can respect. That's something, like I said, we don't want to isolate players from not coming here, but obviously we want to push the players that want to get the push. We want to incorporate the people that are trash talking, because to us it's important, and we want to make sure we're not crossing any lines.
Right. But on a positive note, I will add one more thing if it's possible, because what you were just saying made me think, on the flip side of that, if you're a manager who likes to trash talk, if you're a manager who likes what Flip typically refers to as angle-based play and storylines, and you feel unfulfilled, I would encourage those managers to give any of the 3 Bronze Age leagues a look. Speaking for, Brandon and Sean, they are, for my money, the commissioners who most get people involved right away. I like to get people involved, and I hope that I do a good job, but I would say that those 2 gentlemen do an absolutely amazing job at incorporating people instantaneously. If you show up and you trash talk, they are going to involve you.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
it's worth a look.
here in the UNL, if you ever run out of something to talk about, dude, you can always talk about the global tournaments. Just putting it out there.
I do love me some global tournaments.
Dude, you could never not have. I mean, there's always something to mention, whether you don't like who's winning it, whether you're, whatever it is. But there should always be. I mean, yeah, this place has enough to mention and talk about that you shouldn't have. I mean, unless you're, running out of time, uh, because of whatever work or whatever. We get it. We understand. We're not inhuman here. I've fallen into that, myself. But obviously, if you got a little time, a one-liner or a two-liner, shout out to Demon Anger and Skullfire and or both of those two groups, Skullfire, Psychobolt, and the Demons of Rage, who you know get to the point.
Short and sweet gets it across.
Yeah.
Those can be some of my favorite trash talks.
Yeah, just
they say what they got to say, and you move on.
Yeah, to the point, brothers. But again, not. I mean, we want you here if you want to be here. That's basically what it boils down to. I mean, if obviously play by our rules if you want the titles. If not, don't get mad if you don't get that push. Don't get mad. That's all I can say. Oh man. Who's getting the push next? Let's see. I'm still worried about that guy. The one that I don't want to say too much, Commissioner, because he's beginning to. It's like the Simpsons moment where Homer Simpson has that the visual of Sexy Flanders.
No.
You don't know the Sexy Flanders where he's going skiing. Flanders going skiing, and he has his tight little his tight ski suit, and he's all like, "It's like I'm wearing nothing at all, nothing at all."
I'm sorry to say, I don't catch. I feel like I'm pretty good at pop culture, but I don't catch that reference.
Oh, I will definitely. I'll send you the Homer Simpson meme of it, and but that's what's running through my head right now with the assassin's ass. I know that ass from somewhere. I just can't figure it out. But
Sexy Flanders. All right.
Yeah, look up Sexy Flanders. Yeah.
Oh no! Yeah, I do know. I do recall this now. Yes. I do recall this now. Yes.
That's what.
That's how you end a UNL trash talk show.
Well, we've been missing our pop culture references from Walter the Monk, so hopefully Walter comes back strong this next upcoming cycle.
Yes. Yeah. Oh. He was not feeling well in cycle 49. He was feeling like a bloodlust, he said. So we'll have to wait and see what we hear from him next. Yeah. Epilogue. There you go.
Like it. All right, Commissioner, we're going to go ahead and sign this one off. 2 hours each. My goodness.
Wow.
Hopefully you can hear this before you go to sleep and help put you to bed.
Nice and relaxing.
Oh, yeah, buddy. All right, Commissioner, we're going to sign off this Trash Talk edition of the United Nations League. And again, keep it strong. Can't wait to see what Richard J has in store. And, of course, with that much money, can't wait to see what Fortune 500. Fortune 500, as I mentioned during the Commissioner show, I have a little surprise for you coming this next Trash Talk. You've been around a while in my game, so I'm going to make sure you get a little flashback to an old feud. Oh, man. All right, Commissioner. We'll see you next time. Everyone listening, keep tuned in. Bronze Age show coming soon.